Coaches, teaching first base is easy. Just take your biggest, most unathletic kid, stick them there and hope for the best.
Coaches, that's not how to play first base. Let's now talk about how to coach first base properly.
All right, coaches, so we just saw bad footwork on the bag. Let's talk about the proper way to teach your first baseman footwork around the base. Number one, we're gonna start in an athletic position and we're always gonna work off the edges of the base. The timing of this is always gonna be right pivot and stride out. If that ball's thrown right at me, I'm in an athletic position, I'm gonna pivot with my right foot and I'm gonna stride out to make the catch. If that ball's thrown to my backhand side, I'm already on the edge of the base. I'm gonna pivot with my right foot, I'm gonna cross over and make the catch. If that ball's thrown to my glove hand side, I'm gonna pivot with my right foot and replace my feet and stride out and make the catch. The reason why it's so important is too often players just get set up with their foot in the middle of the base and they stride out, not realizing that if I have to go to my glove side, I have an extra 6 inches to work with, or to my backhand side, I have an extra 6 inches of base to work with here. Another reason why it's important to start in an athletic position is on a bad throw, I can now adjust to it. If that ball's thrown up in the air, I can jump and come back down and find the bag. Players too often get here and they stride out too early and now they can't adjust to a bad throw. So coaches, remember, we want our first baseman, get to the bag early. Find the corners of the base. My heels are set up, I'm nice and athletic, and I'm always pivoting with my non-glove foot. So my right foot, middle of the base on a throw right at me. On a backhand, it's a right pivot and stride. To my forehand side, I'm replacing my feet and making my stride that way. A great way to implement it at practice is to have a coach grab a bucket of balls and have your players work on it. So we're gonna go 2 in a row right at me, 2 in a row to my backhand side, and then 2 in a row to my forehand side. Remember, it's always right pivot, stride out. Now it's a crossover. Notice I'm working off the edges of the base. The ball of my foot is on the edge of the base. Replacing my feet here to the forehand, and I'm always working off the edge. In the beginning, you saw the incorrect way of doing it with my foot slapped on the middle of the base. So now when I stride out, I'm not giving that runner enough base. I can get stepped on the ankle, I can get stepped on the back of the foot. That's an easy way to get hurt. So remember, heels, pivot, stride. Another great drill to mix in with your first baseman at practice is to have them go barehanded. Coach Duke set up about 15 feet away with a tennis racket and some squish balls, and we're gonna do the exact same drill, working on my footwork, working off the edges of the base, but doing everything barehanded. If they drop it, that's okay. It's much harder. Notice I can't stride out too early doing this drill. I gotta really concentrate on watching that thing all the way into my glove or my bare hand, and I'm always working the ball of my foot off the corners of the base. Can't believe you caught that. All right, coaches, let's talk picks. Although Duke caught some of those, that was the incorrect way of teaching your players how to make picks. So again, we're gonna go back to the beginning, using proper footwork. Once we pivot off that foot and we get out to this position here, we wanna think of a couple things. Get your eyes as low to the ground as possible. We're gonna take our weight from our back leg and we're gonna transfer it into our front leg, and we're gonna work on picking back through the ball as long as possible. You'll notice on a couple of those, Duke's head was up, his front arm was straight, he was swinging across his body. So again, put an emphasis on eyes below the ball, get as low as you can, and pick back through that ball with a good weight transfer from my back leg to my front leg. It should look something like this. My head's behind my glove. I'm still working proper footwork, and I'm trying to attack back through the short hop. One challenging one sometimes is that ball that's thrown right at you, because when players stride out too early, now they get stuck here where their elbow and their knee get in the way of each other. So me personally, I like backhanding it more. So all I would do there is step left and create a backhand. Sometimes players like to forehand it, where they'll step to the right of the line and forehand it. But I'm gonna simulate that one right at me where I step left and create a backhand out of it. Again, work off the edge, feel that weight transfer from the back leg to the front leg, and get your eyes behind your glove as long as possible. The last piece to making picks is making sure that our glove works back through the ball and not underneath and up. When we're practicing picks, if your players do miss it, it's okay, but we want to miss back in the direction that the ball's traveling. So I'm going to miss one on purpose here, and if I miss it back towards coach, I'm doing it correctly. If I'm scooping either up and across my body and I'm doing this, no good. I want to keep the palm of my glove and the fingertips facing that target as long as possible. All right, coaches, a fun warm-up progression or even a competition at practice is something we call walking picks. So Coach Duke and I are starting next to each other. Our heels are on the base or the foul line. We're gonna take the ball in our throwing hand, we're gonna toss it up in the air, and we're gonna try to backhand it as soon as it hits the ground. We're then gonna reset, we're gonna toss it outside our knee and forehand. The goal is that you try to walk all the way out to either the pitcher's mound or halfway to second base without missing it. And then we're gonna turn around and we're gonna walk back. The goal here is to try to get it as soon as it hits the ground and to work back through, thinking dragging the fingertips along the grass, not scooping under it or across it.
Coaches, another way to help your first baseman is you take a bucket of baseballs, you have a fungo bat, and you're gonna hit short hops. So I'm gonna hit the ball, it's gonna take a bunch of bounces, and the first baseman's gonna have to pick the ball from the ground. What you can do is you can change yourself from going to the third base side. You can go from the shortstop side and you can go from the second base. Right now I'm pretending like I'm a shortstop, so he's getting that angle. There's a toughie. Nice, good job, Coach Steve. So I really like using that drill because you can really change up the types of hops they're getting. See, in the beginning, I was giving them short hops. Towards the end, I was giving them in-between hops. Those are much more challenging. So that's a great way to help your first baseman working on picks from all different angles.
All right, coaches, let's talk footwork and timing when we're holding a runner on first base. First and foremost, we want to set up with our right foot flush against the home plate side of first base. We're going to take our left foot and we're going to draw an imaginary line somewhere between the pitcher's mound and home plate, and we're going to get into a nice athletic position. The reason why we do this is because if we're too far open and that pitcher gives us a bad feed on a pickoff, I'm not going to be able to adjust. And vice versa, if I'm too far closed, I'm never going to be able to make an adjustment behind me. So we want to find some middle ground right between the pitcher's mound and home plate. I'm nice and athletic. If that pitcher does pick off, remember, the ball always travels faster than our glove. So we don't want to go out and catch it and then try to find the runner. We want to sync with it, catch that ball deep directly over the bag, give a quick tag down and up to get the out. Now, when the pitcher delivers the ball to home plate, our timing off the bag is important. It's one step and one shuffle. You saw a couple times before, Coach Duke was getting off the bag, but he wasn't set on time and the ball got hit by him. Or the opposite, he got off the bag so far, his feet were still in the air by the time that ball was hit and he got beat. So we're gonna go one step and one shuffle and make sure that we're set. So I'm here, the ball's thrown, it's one step, one shuffle. Not really too concerned with how far off the bag we get or how close to the line we are. The emphasis is on making sure we're ready by the time that batter's making contact. Another thing you'll notice, when I take this one step and one shuffle, I'm on the inside lane. Inside lane means when I field this ground ball, now I can hit my shortstop on the inside. Sometimes players get off the bag and they'll do this. When they field the ball in the baseline, they don't have a proper throwing lane. So they field it here and they go to make their throw and the runner's in the way. Can cause an error, can cause a bad throw. So the one step, one shuffle on the inside lane is the most important. We're ready when the ball's hit, and we've also got an alley to throw and give a good double play feed to our shortstop. Another situation that happens quite frequently is once we get set and we're one step, one shuffle off the bag, that ball that's hit to my forehand side, I don't want to turn and make this throw to second immediately. I can get the force out here at first, step, yell tag, and then give my shortstop a good firm throw to where he's got to tag the runner out going from first to second because it's no longer a force play. So first baseman, it's important, once we get off the base, one step, one shuffle. If it's to our backhand side, we can backhand it and make a good throw. If it's right at us or maybe a little bit to our left side, we can catch, spin, find our shortstop and make a good throw. And then if that ball's taking you back up the line, we're gonna catch, tag, and give my shortstop a good throw to get that runner out going from first to second.
So coaches, don't just stick the biggest, clumsiest athlete at first base. Make sure you teach them the right footwork, you teach them the right glove work, and you teach them how to play first base properly. Like, subscribe, and comment below on some of your first baseman's biggest challenges.